So my name is Angelique Spruill. I am the program manager for Care Services. How many of you have heard of Care Services? Very good. So the rest of you, you will learn about Care Services today, okay? So y'all know the price is right. So I have some contestants right here. You can start my music, okay? Kezia, come on down. You are the only contestant on The Price is Right, okay? So which of one of these costs $4.99? You gonna stay with the Parmesan? All right. We're gonna try again, okay? So since that was incorrect and you're the only contestant, I'll give you another try. The peanut butter, let's see. All right, very good. So are you surprised by the prices? Cheese is delicious, but very expensive. That container of cheese is $14.99, okay? We can always buy our generic form. We don't necessarily have to buy the big Kraft, right? So peanut butter is a great item to keep on hand because it is high in protein, right? And it's very well priced. Out of all these groceries, how much do they cost? You got a loaf of Wonder Bread, a gallon of milk, a container of 4 butter sticks, and a bunch of bananas. Would you say that's $17, $34, $10, $58, or $6? You gonna try 10? Okay, let's see. We're gonna try again. 17. All right, very good. So buying groceries to make your own healthy meals at home can save you a lot of money. And all of this food is less than $20, okay? How much does it cost for a family of 4 to eat dinner at McDonald's? 2 Happy Meals, 2 value meals, and 10 nuggets. $29, $32, or $44. You gonna go with 44? Let's see. All right, yay. So it would cost $44 for a family to eat this meal at McDonald's. So if you were having this meal delivered, it would cost $56 because of the delivery fees and of course the tip, which would be about $14. So cooking your own dinner saves you a lot of money, as you can see, right? So which one of these costs the least amount of money? I said the least amount of money. A brand new, we're gonna say 2025 Ford Focus, a 1-week trip to Walt Disney World, Florida for your family, which includes the flight, the hotel, food, Disney tickets, okay? Or 1 Starbucks treat, 1 lunch, 1 dinner per family, for family of 4 in a restaurant for a year. Which 3 of these is the cheapest? The food, okay, let's see. We're gonna try again. Well, actually, yeah, that would cost $1,652, all of that. Which one you wanna try now? The trip, okay, very good. So a 1-week trip to Disney, flight, hotel, and food would cost $5,116. I don't know about you all, but I would rather go to Disney than to eat out and spend over $7,000 for a year with my family, right? Before we get into everything else, I want to talk about needs and wants. Can you all tell me, what is a need? Something you absolutely have to survive. Perfect. So basically she's right. Something that is required to survive. You have to have this in order to thrive and survive in life, right? So what are some things we absolutely need to survive? Water. Food, shelter, well, air, oxygen, yeah, that's not on here, but you know. Anybody else? What you wearing today? Clothes, we have to have clothes. We have to shelter our bodies from the weather, right? So examples are food, water, shelter, and clothes. All right, so now what is a want? What is a want? Something you don't necessarily need to survive, right? It's something that is desired, but it is not required for survival. Now, I'm gonna take those same examples up there and talk about the wants for those same examples, right? Five Guys cheeseburgers. It's food, but is it a necessary kind of food? Do y'all know how much Five Guys cheeseburgers are? $15 for 1 cheeseburger. Yes, $15, right? So we need food, but a cheeseburger from Five Guys is not required for survival, okay? Bottled water. We don't need bottled water to survive. We can get a regular old water out the sink to survive, or out of the water fountain, right? Designer clothes. Okay, ladies, yes, designer clothes. We don't need that to survive. As long as we have clothes on our bodies, we're good. How about a penthouse in Midtown? Who doesn't want a penthouse in Midtown, right? But we do need shelter, but we don't need to be that extravagant, right? So I am at the grocery store, my favorite grocery store, and I'm hungry because all I had was my apple today for lunch, and I'm just getting off from work, and I was so busy I didn't have time to eat today. So mistake number one, I'm going to the grocery store hungry, right? Now, I want you all to tell me, I have all of this listed, I have this right now in my cart, but I know I only have so much money in the bank for me to grocery shop. So I need to determine in my bag right now, my needs and my wants. Because when I added all of this up, I don't have the money for it, right? So, do I need fruits and vegetables? Is that a need? Definitely. You need fruits and vegetables to survive. That is definitely a need. How about root beer? I love root beer. I love root beer. I don't need it. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put my root beer to the side because sometimes I deserve a treat, right? I'll work hard, but I'm gonna put it to the side for now, okay? So that's definitely a want. Skippy peanut butter. I love my peanut butter sandwiches. Skippy peanut butter, is that a need or a want? It is a want, but it could be a need with protein. So, but do I need Skippy? No. I don't need the name brand stuff. If I'm at Kroger, I can go ahead and get the Kroger brand, right? So this really is a want, right? Even though I need that protein, what I can do is I could put this to the side. Let me go get the Kroger brand instead, or the Aldi brand, or the Publix brand, or whatever, okay? Ice cream. I wanted a root beer float. I really want me some ice cream to go with my root beer float. Is ice cream a need? Nope, it's not a need, right? So I'm gonna put that to the side with my root beer, just in case there's enough money in my budget. How about canned beans? It's a need. I need food. Canned beans is a protein, okay? Oops, oh, you already know. Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets. While it's a food, do I necessarily need it? It's a want. I don't think Hot Pockets have very much nutritional value in it, right? But it's something I could put to the side because it's something that I want, just in case I have the money in my budget for it, right? How about paper towels? I hear a lot of needs. Honestly, I think paper towels are the biggest scam ever. You don't need paper towels. You're just throwing away paper. You're throwing away money, right? It's like, forgive me for anybody who smokes cigarettes. You're just smoking your money. But paper towels, you can always go buy those micro towels. Y'all seen the big pack of micro towels? Just keep one in the kitchen and use that instead of just having to go pay, how much, $10 for a pack of paper towels? Yeah, it's not necessarily a need. How about Dawn dish soap? I gotta wash my dishes. I don't want them to pile up and get roaches and bugs and, Name brand? Name brand, I don't need Dawn, right? So it's definitely a want, but I do need some dish detergent, so I'm gonna take that Dawn back and go find me a generic brand, okay? Canned tuna or chicken. It's definitely a need because I need that protein, okay? Who heard of Cholula sauce, hot sauce? That's some good stuff. That's my favorite hot sauce. Huh? It's a want because it's a name brand. But that's something that I can definitely put to the side, or I can just go get, instead of paying $5 for a bottle, go get me a $2 bottle of hot sauce, right? Okay. Toothpaste. Don't nobody want to walk around with no stinky breath, right? Not just that, you know, your teeth. You need to make sure you're taking care of your teeth, right? So it's a need. Some people use baking soda and peroxide to clean their teeth, okay? But toothpaste would fall under a need. How about trash bags? It's a need. You got to get rid of that trash in your house. You got to have some place to put it. But do I need Hefty? No. Okay, good. Potato chips. A want. I have a kitten and I have a puppy. You need to feed them. I need to feed them because if you don't, you can go to jail for not taking care of your animals, right? So I need to feed them. I got a baby. Definitely a need. Right. So I was walking down the aisle and I saw a perfume and cologne aisle, and I smelled this perfume and it smelled so good. I like to smell good. I don't need to smell good. A good old bar of soap would help, right? Okay, very good. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do, okay, I got enough money in my pocket now, so let me see what I'm trying to put back, and maybe I can go ahead and put that in the budget. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the root beer, but instead of the A&W, I'm just gonna go ahead and get the generic brand, right? Or the generic brand vanilla ice cream. So I got that in my budget now, okay? All right, very good, you guys. So we have to fuel our bodies, right? Why is it so important to fuel our bodies, especially for students? Growing, what else? Brain, yeah. Your brain is a muscle. And for those of you who work out, right? You're training your muscle. When you're eating, you're fueling your body, you're fueling your muscles. What happens if you don't fuel your muscles? They get weak, right? You can't think, right? And that's what happens when you're not fueling your brain, okay? You can't do your homework because you can't study, you can't concentrate, you can't sleep. So you guys gotta eat right. Okay, I know it's hard sometimes with all of these wonderful Chick-fil-A's and Moe's and all that stuff on campus. So we want to stick to our proteins, our carbs, our fat, our fiber, okay? Protein, lean meats, eggs, Greek yogurt, cheese, carbs, potatoes, rice, oats, beans, pasta. A bag of potatoes will go a long way because you can find so many different recipes. You can buy a $5 bag of potatoes. You can make potato salad, mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, sauteed potatoes, all kind of potatoes, okay? You can do a lot with potatoes and just get a big bag of potatoes. That'll last you a good week or so. Fats, you need avocado, nuts, seeds, oil, oily fish. How many of y'all like sardines? They're not expensive, right? You can go get you some sardines and eat on those, right? That's some great fat to have in your body. Peanut butter, almond butter, fiber. You need to clean all the toxins out of your body. And these foods will help: oats, beans, apples, fruits, vegetables. How many of y'all carve the skin off your apples when you eat it? Nobody? Good. I've seen people do that. That's the most nutritious part. That's where you get all of your fiber from, right? Okay. You can buy a bag of apples, frozen fruits, right? All right, so let's talk about eating in versus eating out. It is more cost effective and healthier to make your meals as opposed to eating out. So the average cost of basic fast food meal is almost $12 across major cities, okay? The average cost of an average home cooked meal is roughly $4 to $6 per person. And what? It could be stretched out for over a few days, right? All right, students with food insecurity are 43% more likely to report poor overall health. Why is that? They eat out more, right? It's called instant gratification. If you have $5, somebody gives you $5 to go eat, you're not thinking about, oh, let me go get me a pack of bologna and a loaf of bread. You're thinking about, oh, I'm going to McDonald's and get me something to eat, right? Not just that, they just don't have the access to the right food. All right, eat the benefits. Of course, it's budget friendly. You can cook your groceries at home. It's usually cheaper to do that. You have full control over the ingredients that you're cooking. If you have health problems, you can't have salt or sugar. You know just how much you can put in your food, right? But when you go out to restaurants, you can have no clue how much salt and sugar and whatever else is in that food, right? Customization, you can tailor meals to your taste and your dietary needs. Comfort, you can eat in your own space, you can eat in your pajamas, you can just lose all table manners at home, right? Okay. All right, so let's talk about meal planning basics, all right? So I start on Sunday starting to plan my meal for the week, okay? So you want to choose a day, map out the meals for the week, and you determine what meals you need, whether you need your breakfast, your lunch, what you're going to have for dinner, and any snacks, okay? The best thing to do is to check what you already have. Instead of going shopping without even knowing, what do I already have in the pantry? What do I already have in the cabinets? What do I already have in the refrigerator? So that I don't repeat it, buy it again, and I end up with all these different things in the refrigerator that I don't need, and it ends up going to waste, okay? Keep the menu simple. Include a mix of easy meals with favorites, repeat meals, or use leftovers creatively, right? You roasted you a chicken one day. The next day, you could take that chicken, make you chicken sandwiches, chicken salad, and Just make it, make it different all the time. Don't leave home without a grocery list, okay? Organize it by category: produce, dairy, pantry stuff, things that you're gonna put in the pantry, etc., okay? Stick to your list, because if you don't stick to the list, you're gonna do what I did earlier. You're gonna impulse buy, okay? All right, so cook in batches. You wanna prepare meals ahead of time and store in containers. You can go to Aldi and get containers, Walmart to get containers, Dollar Tree to get containers, okay? Freeze portions of what you, when you know you're going to be busy, okay? You know you're going to be busy Wednesday, just go ahead and freeze that. Thursday, Friday, you know you're going to be busy. That way you could just take it out the freezer. If you want to let it sit for a while and put it in the microwave, or wrap it up in some foil and put it in the oven, okay? Use versatile ingredients. You want to choose staples that work in multiple meals, like rice, beans, eggs, and tortillas, okay? And you can keep it flexible. Just remember that this is a plan. It's not necessarily a rule. So if you want to just be flexible with it, you can. Now let's talk about budgeting basics while you are shopping. So you want to buy generic brands. And I tell students, this is just temporary. You guys are going to be out of school soon. You're going to start working, making your millions, and then you can shop and get what you want if you want the name brands. But right now, just buy the generic, okay? Store brands often have the same quality as name brands at lower prices. Shop the sales and use coupons. Check the weekly ads, the digital coupons, okay? Stock up on non-perishables, okay? Especially when they're on sale. You can stock up on canned goods when they're on sale. They have, buy one, get one free or something like that. Compare unit prices. Look at the price per ounce or per pound to find the best deal. So say, for instance, you walk in, I'm not a mayonnaise person, I'm a Miracle Whip person. Miracle Whip or salad dressing person, right? So I see a jar of salad dressing, and it's 16 ounces. Then I see a jar of salad dressing, the same type, right, for 24 ounces. The smaller jar is $4.99. The bigger jar is on sale for $5.99. Which is the better deal? Huh? The bigger jar. You might as well spend another $1 for another, 8 ounces, right? You definitely want to avoid pre-cut or pre-packaged items. While they are convenient, I'm sure you notice that they are a lot more expensive, aren't they? Right, okay, so try to stay away from those as much as possible, okay? Shop seasonal produce. Fruits and vegetables in season are fresher and more affordable, okay? And also limit your snacks and convenience foods. These are often pricey and less nutritious. But again, sometimes, you say, hey, I did really well this semester. I do want a snack. Make sure it's in your budget and grab your snack every once in a while, okay? And stick to your budget. Just always remember to stick to your budget, okay? Set your budget, stick to it. So here goes some more helpful tips, all right? So buying non-perishables like rice, pasta, and canned goods in bulk is cost effective. Avoid buying perishables in bulk unless you can freeze them. How many of y'all have roommates? How many of y'all have, there's 4 of you? You all can chip in together, go to Costco, get you a Costco card. One person will have the Costco card in their name. I think it's $65. You all can go shopping together and buy in bulk and share, okay? So keep that in mind. It'll be a lot cheaper for everybody, all right? If you're in a room with another person, just 2 of you guys, you all can think about doing the same thing, and that will help you save money. Making many meals at once and freezing them for later in the week is a great way to save time and energy. One thing I want to point out about freezing food, those bags that you freeze food in, the Ziploc bags, make sure if you're going to put them in the freezer, make sure it says freezer bags. Because I find a lot of people use the storage bags. The storage bags are for the refrigerator or the pantry, but they make the freezer bags specifically to freeze food, okay? And I'm gonna tell you all this because I shop a lot. Aldi has the best prices on freezer bags, trash bags, and all of that. You can get you a 60 bag box for less than $2, okay? So just keep that in mind. They have the best bargain as far as food storage, okay? Now, also, let me tell you, and I don't know if this still works, but I learned about 12 years ago. If you are in, let's say, Kroger, right, and you're in the meat section, and you see a nice big old pack of, let's say, drumsticks, chicken legs. You're in the store today, and the chicken pack says expires August 28th. Are they supposed to sell expired meat? No, they're not. So what you do is you talk to the store manager. Don't go to the guy behind the counter. Ask to speak to a store manager and say, Mr. Store Manager, this expired. Oh, I have to give you that for free. You got about 16 legs right there. You take that puppy home and you throw some salt on it real good, right? Make sure it's nice and seasoned. Package them in the freezer bags, maybe like 4 a bag or something like that. And you got you some chicken legs to last you for a while. Free, okay? Like I said, this was about 12 years ago, but try it if you should happen to see a thing of expired chicken or whatever kind of meat, okay? You also always want to shop the perimeter of the store. Always want to shop because around the sides of the store, that's where you'll see your produce, your dairy, and your meats. And you think about it, think it in your head, wow, that's right. The middle of the store is where you have all of the processed food that's really not good for you. But sometimes we do eat the processed food. But if you're going to go to those middle aisles, make sure you look up and down at the groceries, right? Because the ones that are at eye level, they cost the most. Because stores know people are looking eye level. They're not looking down and they're not looking up. Those are the cheaper things at the top and the bottom. Did anybody notice that? Okay, and they know that you don't notice that. Take advantage of the buy one, get one. 10 for 10, use digital coupons on their apps, become a rewards member, shop at stores like Aldi, Walmart, Costco, Kroger, or Dollar Tree. Make sure you all have those apps because you can get some really good rewards, right? You can save a lot of money with those apps, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you something about the buy one, get one. You think you have to buy 2 if it says buy one, get one free? You don't have to buy 2. You can buy 1. What happens when you just buy 1? If you don't need 2, it's half price, right? If you don't need 2 of them and you could just use 1, just get the 1 and get it at half price. 10 for 10. Some people think, well, I got to buy 10 to get it. 10 for 10. You don't need to do that. What they're really telling you is $1. So if you only need 1 soft soap to wash your hands, you don't need to buy 10. Just get 1 for $1 or maybe 2 for $2. How many of y'all use coupons? Only one person in this entire room use coupons. Does it save you money? Yeah, it might be a dime, a quarter, $1 here and there, but it adds up, right? You end up saving $20 a month probably. Okay, so keep that in mind. Here are your budget-friendly staples. Eggs, oats, a big container. How many of y'all like oatmeal? I love oatmeal. Yes, you can get you a big old container. Go to Aldi, get you a big container oatmeal. Aldi always have the best prices, at least to me. Rice and dry beans. There's your protein, those beans, your protein and your fiber right there. And what I tell people, students, a bag of beans and a bag of rice goes a long way. While it ain't the most glamorous thing to eat, right? You can fix it up, season it up how you want it, but it lasts for a long time. Okay, again, remember, this is just temporary, all right? Bread, peanut butter, canned beans, tuna, tomatoes, tortillas. How many of you all seen the big bags of tortillas in the store? Man, you can get some ground turkey or some ground beef and sprinkle some cheese on those tortillas and get you some Cholula sauce and have you some good little tacos there, okay? Frozen fruit and vegetables, those last long. I use frozen fruit every morning in my smoothies because it's the best thing and it's cheaper than fresh fruit. Okay, definitely. I go to Trader Joe's and they have good deals on their frozen fruit. Lentils, pasta. There you go with those potatoes again. Yogurt, spinach, carrots, onions, bananas, cheese. You don't have to buy the Sargento cheese, right? You can do the Kroger brand, the Publix brand, the Aldi brand, whatever, okay? Flour, cornmeal. Do y'all know how easy it is to make cornbread? Cornmeal, eggs, what is it, bacon, bacon is the flour, not baking soda, what's the other one? Baking powder, thank you. And oil. That's it. And you have some cornbread to go with those rice and beans, okay? Frozen chicken, ground turkey, broth, and bouillon cubes. You all know what bouillon cubes are? Okay, it's the little cubes, it's kind of condensed, it's like kind of like a condensed soup, so to speak, but they're little cubes and you just put some water in there. It's probably cheaper than buying a carton of the broth, okay? So these are just some everyday friendly basic staples that you all can have in the refrigerator and you will always have food to eat, okay? And it's not gonna cost you a whole lot of money, right? So always look for generic. I'm gonna just pound that in you all's heads. Always look for generic, okay? This will save you a lot of money. You all agree? You all know what I'm talking about with generic. Make good purchasing decisions. Your bottom line depends on it. What do y'all see here? And I'm gonna tell y'all, coffee is my vice. I love coffee. I'm a coffee connoisseur. I have a problem with coffee. I love it so much. Of course, we see coffee probably someplace from out, but we also see some coffee with a coffee pot that's made at home. About 6 months ago, I gave up Starbucks. Then my habit came back. So you also will see me at Starbucks every morning, even though last year I bought a coffee pot, a fantastic coffee pot. It was on sale from Kohl's, and I love it. And I also bought my favorite coffee, which is it's a decaf from Whole Foods, and it's a big pack. It was $15, and there's probably about 50 cups in there. And then I also like one called Dancing Goat, and I bought a pack of that. And those packs of coffees are still sitting on my shelf with my coffee pot on the counter. It's just so easy to go to Starbucks in the morning because it's like right across from me, right across from our office, right? And I could just go to Starbucks. And it's so easy because I have a Starbucks app that's connected to my credit card. So I really don't see the money, right, going to Starbucks until when? Until I get the bill at the end of the month. And I'm like, I spent what at Starbucks? So I need to, and I'm pretty sure some of you all be in that line too, right, for Starbucks? Anybody? Anybody like Starbucks? Anybody like coffee? Yeah? About how much do you say you spend a week at Starbucks? She laughed. She already know. About how much? Oh, she get breakfast. Girl, you got money. Is that $20 a week or $20 every time you go? And how many times do you go? Okay, so say for instance, $20 last week and today is Thursday, maybe $20 this week. That's $40. What else could you have done with that $40? Go to Walmart. You could have probably bought a cute little coffee pot, right? But that coffee's so good though. But you can always Google Starbucks recipes and make it yourself.
I was actually thinking about that.
So think about how much money you all spend at Starbucks. I don't know about y'all, but I don't make nearly as much money as Starbucks does. Next time you all see me in Starbucks, I want you all to hold me accountable, okay? Miss Angelique, are you supposed to be here? Because you were talking about how much money you spend in Starbucks. So I'm gonna say, you know what, you're right. Thank you so much, because you all just saved me another $5, because I spend about $25 a week at Starbucks, because my coffee costs about $5, and I'm here Monday through Friday, and I spend $5 a day. But I go home on the weekends, and even though I have a coffee maker, there's a Starbucks down the street, and I'm at Starbucks spending $10 more over the weekend. So that's about $35 a week, okay? Which could go in my gas tank, which could go on my light bill, which could go in my refrigerator, right? So I want you all to hold me accountable. If you all see me in Starbucks, again, say, Miss Angelique, are you supposed to be here? And I'm gonna say, no, you're so right. Let me take my butt on. I'm gonna go get some coffee and I'll make some coffee at home, right? But it depends on how I'm feeling. Because if I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna say, worry about yourself, okay? Because you in this line too, right? So the point I'm trying to make is just think about how you could spend less on your vice, whether it's coffee, whether it's pizza, or whatever, okay? Because if you like to go to what pizza places around here? Mellow Mushroom. Go get you a frozen pizza, right? If you want some pizza, don't spend all that money at Mellow Mushroom or wherever else, all right? Because you're spending a lot of money and you're giving these corporations your money and they make a whole lot more money than you do, okay? Until you get out of school and start making your millions, all right? Stick to a budget, buy generic, eat at home, drink at home, and just enjoy the space in your home, okay? So let's talk a bit about something a little bit more serious here. In 2024, there was a study conducted at KSU that revealed that a percentage of KSU students surveyed reported having limited access to food over the previous 12 months. Does anybody know what that number is? It is too many. 52.2% of your peers, you were very close, very good. 52.2% of your peers said that they did not have enough food to eat. Remember we talked about the brain and the nourishment. How in the world are you not eating and surviving? I got another thing I'm gonna hold you all accountable for, okay? Because we have, how many of y'all know that we have food pantries? So I'm gonna pass these out because what we're trying to do is we're trying to fight that stigma of being hungry, okay? And if students know that over 50% of you don't eat enough, maybe they will say, okay, I'm gonna go to the food pantry and get me something to eat. And I promise you, probably some of you in here feel the same way, but you have nothing to be ashamed of. We welcome all KSU students. The food pantries are free to all KSU students. Now, I'm gonna tell you about another trick we got. Because it's free, what you can do is you can come shop with us first at the food pantry. We are located in the Carmichael Student Center on the first floor. Instead of you going to Starbucks, turning that left, you could turn right to come into the food pantry, okay? So you can come shop with us and then go grocery shopping because you have some food already. Now you can shop around what you have extra from the food pantry. So if you can get a jar of peanut butter and jelly from the food pantry, but you don't have any bread, put that on your list, right? We have pasta. If you know you don't have much money, but you know you need your meat because you want some spaghetti, come check us out first because we do carry tomato sauce. We carry pasta. And that will really help you with your budget. How many of y'all have meal plans? We are also, another good thing is, how many of y'all plan to stay like during the holidays, stay on campus? Or if you know somebody who stayed on campus for the holidays, everything's closed down, right? The Commons is closed, all the restaurants are closed. The Bob stops bobbing, right? It's not going around anymore for a couple of weeks. We have packages that students can take with them for the break. Okay, so if you all know anybody, like I said, I'm holding you all accountable. If you all know anybody, tell them to come to the food pantry and find out more about us. We also help students with SNAP benefits. If you want to apply for food stamps, we have our public assistance benefits specialists that work with us, and they can help you with that also. How many of y'all know how to cook? That's awesome. Okay, how many of y'all don't know how to cook? Okay, it's okay, because probably from freshman, your mom was cooking or your dad somebody was cooking and you didn't have to cook. And that's fine because here at KSU, our well-being division, we actually have health promotion and wellness that actually has cooking and meal prep workshops. And you can find all of that on Our Life. So it helps you to prepare easy, nutritious, and budget-friendly food. So look on Our Life to see when the next class is, okay? Even if you know how to cook, but you just want some additional tips. So here are our food pantries again. We are 172, and then on the Joe Mack Wilson Student Center, 184, which is downstairs around the corner from the Chick-fil-A, okay? And we are here Monday through Friday, okay? Again, I'm holding you all accountable. If you're sitting next to somebody in class and they say, look, Lisa, I haven't eaten in a long time. You know, I'm just been so hungry. Tell them about the food pantry. Get the word out about the food pantry because it's nonsense that 52.2% of students stated that they did not have enough food to eat. Maybe they don't know about the food pantry. Maybe that's the stigma. They're afraid to run into classmates, okay, while they're there. But if they run into classmates and see somebody there, well, the classmate is shopping too, right? Really, I think it's an epidemic. It's an epidemic on campus. It's an epidemic globally, right? So we can't expect anything different from college campuses. Must Ministries Mobile Food Pantry. How many of y'all seen this big yellow truck on the green? When you see this big yellow truck and it comes once a month, I believe it's on third Wednesday, but next month it's gonna be here on the 10th. Write this down. It's gonna be on the 10th and it's going to be on the green, okay? You can go to Our Life to find out the time. I forget the time. But I know it's at least around 12 o'clock. I had 2 student interns that worked with me over the summer, and we were doing field trips because they do outreach for us, so they needed to learn about all of the resources on campus. And they saw the food truck. These are seniors. They never noticed it. They went over there. So what Must Ministries does, they have it already bagged for you, right? They had these huge bags of fresh fruits and vegetables. I mean, bell peppers, red, green, and yellow bell peppers, all kind of fruit, lettuce, onions. In another bag, they had bags of chicken breast, frozen chicken breast, bags of fish, frozen fish. And I asked about the frozen fish, and they said it was really good. So whenever you all see this Must Ministries, go get some food. It's free. Okay? You don't need anything. You just go over there. They may ask you to scan because we need to know how many students we're serving. Okay, I'm not sure if they have you scan or not, but probably do. But this is actually available to all faculty, staff, and students. So is the pantry. This is another supplement to your grocery shopping. Okay, that's going to help you save more money, because when you get food from there and before the weekend is out, you want to go grocery shopping. I already have this in my kitchen, so your list gets shorter. All right, so here's some useful tools and links. Budgetbites.com has some budget-friendly recipes. MyPlate.gov, it's a nutrition planning website that you can go on to. Here goes some apps called Ibotta, Fetch, Flash Food, the Kroger app, the Walmart app. Those are the apps where you can get some coupons from to save you some money. The Kennesaw Farmers Market, they bring fresh local produce to downtown Kennesaw every Monday, May through August from 3:30. If you have a ride over downtown, you go get you some free vegetables. It's not expensive, okay? When you get some free vegetables, Google how to freeze it if you want to freeze it. If you can't freeze it, you want to Google to see if you can, okay? So what I want you all to do, I want you all to scan this QR code, because that is Care Services. We not only provide pantry, but we provide other services for students, for your support. So students who are in a crisis, who are dealing with the hardship, we can help you with that, okay? So please make sure, if you all ever find yourself in trouble, whether it's financially, whether you're hungry, whether you just need somebody to talk to, if you need some resources on campus, please, please, please come and see us. Our services are free to all KSU students, staff, and faculty. Let me just put that out there too, okay? You can follow us on Instagram at KSU_care. You can follow us on Facebook at Kennesaw State Care. Thanks, y'all.